Let's waste no time. Dana White just dropped an Instagram live stream where he announced a bunch of new fights, confirming who would be replacing Dan Hooker in the UFC 313 co-main event against Justin Gaethje. He also announced the entire main card for UFC Fight Night Kansas City and some other great matchups later in the year. Let's get into it. Listen, guys, we may have just got a new shot caller in the UFC in Gene Silva. This man called out Bryce Mitchell after his fight last weekend at UFC Seattle, where he scored a first-round knockout over Melsik Baghdasaryan. I'll never get that name right. Melsik Baghdasaryan. Fuck it. We'll just call him Melsik. This man was hyping up the crowd mid-fight, shaking hands, high-fiving, fucking throwing his arms up. The crowd were getting behind him, and then moments later he sleeps Melsik like it was nothing. After the fight, he had a great call out as well, calling out Bryce Mitchell, who he said would teach him about the Lord and put him to sleep, something along those lines. Don't remember the exact words, but, he's going to teach Bryce Mitchell a lesson, basically. Silva's been hounding Bryce Mitchell on social media, calling him, during the middle of the day, middle of the night, fucking all the time, like messaging him, asking for a fight, hounding him. Mitchell hasn't been responding from what I've seen so far. But it looks like it's worked because the UFC have booked the fight for UFC 314 in what will be a hugely anticipated fight. I don't know what I'm looking forward to the most, the pre-fight build-up or the fight itself. Like, I can't even imagine what Mitchell and Silva are going to get into. Despite the language barrier, Silva's pretty charismatic. He can talk some shit. And Bryce Mitchell, mate, you never know where he's going. So look, Silva is on a 12-fight win streak at the moment. He's gone 4-0 since joining the UFC with 4 KOs in a row, beating the likes of Charles Jourdain, Drew Dober, and now Melsik Baghdasaryan. I think that's it. Look, this man's been impressive every fight he's had so far. He fought another dude too. I can't remember his name, Westington or some shit. But he's been impressive in every fight he's had so far. He's quickly become a fan favourite. All you see over Twitter is people hyping this man. All over the MMA community, like, people like this dude, and it's for a reason. He's an impressive fighter. He always brings it. He's exciting. He's explosive. He's fun. The man might just be a psychopath as well. Before the fight, we seen him, getting the call out from fucking Bruce Buffer, and he was like almost crying, and then like just shaking with like rage. Like, this man's all over the shop, and people fucking love it. Then he gets out there, and he's just great to watch all around. So yeah, look, like, this man, he's going to be a star if he keeps on going, keeps up his winning ways, as long as he doesn't have, any boring, wet blanket performances and shit like that, which I don't think he will. But yeah, look, this man, he's got aura. There's no two ways about it. But look, we can't forget who he's up against. Bryce the Third Reich Mitchell. This man's on another level mentally. Mate, it looks like I'm fucking on the short bus mentally. But yeah, look, this guy, he's on another level. If you're smart, you'll make sure you're paying attention to Bryce Mitchell, because this man, not only did he prove that Hitler wasn't such a bad guy, all he needed was just to go fishing with Bryce, shoot off some steam. That's all it was. He wasn't a bad guy. He just needed a little bit of time with the boys, which he wasn't able to get. Busy man. And don't cancel me. I'm only fucking joking, alright? But basically, there's nothing compared to what old Bryce was saying. Not only that, but Bryce Mitchell has proven the Earth is flat, and that Elon Musk isn't autistic. He's just the Antichrist. So, look, if you know what's good for you, you'll fucking tune into Bryce Mitchell and you'll learn a thing or two. Alright, look, seriously though, this is a great matchup. Silva's on the back of a lot of hype. Mitchell's on the back of a wee bit of controversy. But they're both high quality fighters, both deserving of a ranking. Gene is looking to break into the rankings, of course, with a win over Mitchell. Bryce looking to defend his position. Honestly, if we see an impressive win by Silva, which I think we will, his grappling hasn't been tested out by 2 high-level guys yet, which, Mitchell will test out. He got some solid striking, nothing too dangerous, but he can strike, and he's got some dangerous grappling and submission games, so he's tricky. If you can make it past Mitchell, you've got good grappling, good, submission game, or at least defense. So it'll be a good test for him. On the feet, he should piece Mitchell up. Like, I am expecting a KO in there, unfortunately for Mitchell. Or Mitchell, he's going to get the sub, but I think Silva's going to be too good. He's Brazilian, so you expect his BJJ to be pretty fucking good. Not always the case, but a large majority of the time it is. He's a tank too, fucking thick, powerful, explosive, dynamite in his hands, good combinations and shit, like precision. Yeah, this is going to be a good fight though, a good test. And look, honestly, if Gene wins this in impressive fashion, he could be 2 fights away from a title. I mean, 2 fights including the Mitchell fight and another fight. As short as that, because let's be real, like, he beats Mitchell, puts him into what? Where's Mitchell at? Fucking 12th, 11th, something like that in the rankings. Beats him, beats another dude, maybe, I don't know, who would he fight next? Maybe the winner of Patricio versus, yeah, maybe? Well, that'd be cool. Maybe the loser. The loser wouldn't be as good. But look, there's a lot of interesting fights he could have anyway at 145 after that. And with the hype that he's got, I'm not saying he necessarily deserves it or should, but with the hype he has, people might fucking, be behind him that much. And Dana, gotta give the people what they want. Well, most of the time, unless you're Jose Aldo, then he's gonna fuck you over. Or if you're Tom Aspinall, then you gotta, suck John Jones off and let him fucking do whatever he wants with you. But yeah, he could be two fights away from a title fight. More likely, probably looking at 3, I reckon. Mitchell, another fight, and then maybe another one, and then the title. But I can easily see it being a dominant win over Mitchell, dominant win over someone else, and then bang, there's a fucking title shot for you. Especially if Volk is the champ, because he's beaten, so many other guys before. Like Brendan Allen's around too, like good fight. This is exciting, man. It's good to see a new contender, and hopefully he'll prove he's a contender and not just a fucking hype train, which I don't think he's a hype train. I think he's going to be a proper contender and he will fight for the belt sooner or later. Yeah, look, enough with that one. So, look, great fight there by Gene Silva. Good matchmaking by Gene Silva in the UFC. Let's move on to the next big announcement. We have Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje 2, set for UFC 313 on the co-main event. Now, this one, I'm fucking excited for this one, man. Like, obviously, we've seen it before. So there's, it's not as good as like a fresh match between Dan Hooker and Justin Gaethje, which was going to be a banger. I think we all know that. But I've seen a lot of anti-fucking Fiziev sentiment online. I don't fucking get it. They've just dropped their first fight on UFC, on the UFC YouTube channel. Go rewatch it. It was a fucking great fight. Gaethje won it, no doubt. But, like, it was very close. Fucking Fiziev is no joke, man. He was fucking Gaethje up early. He was fast, he was explosive. He lost a bit of that, and Gaethje started to take over, and he was good too. And, man, I'm going to have to go rewatch that fight, actually, again, after this. But Fiziev, man, he's one of my favourite fighters to watch, ever. This man is a fucking freak. Explosive, athletic. Like, have you seen him do those fucking ducks he does when people go for, like, head kicks and he just fucking flings back like the Matrix? I'm talking, like, a 45-degree angle. Like, he's fucking horizontal to the cage. Like, it's crazy. Then he's got these powerful fucking body kicks. He's boom, snaps in there, and these fucking uppercuts, hooks, left, right, fucking, straight. Everything he does is explosive, aggressive, violent. He's way more. He's the most explosive fighter at 155, no doubt. Oh, you got Michael Chandler. Okay, him and Michael Chandler are the most explosive guys, but this guy isn't a fucking retard like Michael Chandler. And he also, cardio. It's hard. Chandler's a hard one to get with cardio. He probably doesn't gas as easy as Chandler either. Look, I'm really excited for this fight. I think it's going to be chaos. Obviously, Fiziev, though, he's coming off a big, ACL tear. So, like, he's been off for, like, 18 months now, unfortunately. So that's, we don't know how he's going to return, but he looks fucking fit. He looks big. He looks in good condition. He's been off a long time, so it tells me that he's probably been taking his recovery seriously. He's a professional UFC fighter, so you'd expect that. But he's looking good. I'm expecting a good version of Fiziev to return. Look, we'll do, as it gets closer, we'll do breakdowns and shit, but I think, I'm excited for this. I think Fiziev probably wins it. But not an easy fight. I'm excited. Great fight as a replacement. There were some other great fights could have been done too, but I'm perfectly happy with this. I've been saying, just the other week I was saying, where the fuck's Fiziev at? I miss that dude. One of the most violent men in the sport, one of the most enjoyable to watch, and here he is, perfect, timing. So, looking forward to that one. Uh, moving on, we have a huge bunch of fights dropped for UFC Fight Night Kansas City. Starting with the main event, Khalil Roundtree versus Jamal Hill. Great fight. This is a perfect fight at light heavyweight. Who else would you have these guys up against, really? Like, this is perfect. Both coming off, recent KO losses, unfortunately. Both, explosive strikers. Both fucking, dogs. They both deserving of being in that top 10. Both killers. Obviously, Hill just got carried by Yuri, and Roundtree coming off the loss to our boy Poatan. Fucking fist of stone Poatan, or whatever he is, hands of stone. So, Khalil, I don't know, man. Like, if you look at just at the physique, you go Khalil all day, but there's more to fighting than that. I know Khalil was doing well against Poatan, and I know Hill was doing pretty good against Prohaska, but ended up getting, he was getting fucked up a bit there too. Early prediction, I'm going to go with Hill. Could easily change. But I'm looking forward to this fight as well. I think it's going to be a sick fight. A lot of, shots exchanged. Both guys landed some big shit. Roundtree got the more varied, probably striking style. But, Hill, when he lands big, man, he can do some damage. So, great fight for the main event. Moving on, we had a bunch of other fights drop. So, Anthony Smith for his last fight of his career, I believe, against Zhang. Look at the fucking box head. Is that fucking Quagmire or what's his name? Steve Smith from American Dad. Holy shit. Or Chang Smith. He's got a fucking box for a head, bro. Looks like he can take a hit. And then we got fucking Piggly Anthony Smith or fucking Pig Heart, whatever his name is. Look at this fucking dude, bro. But not only did he ghost the man who gave him fucking a post-fight career in Michael Bisping, just left their podcast without saying a fucking word. But he started his new podcast up, which is called On Paper with Anthony Smith, because that's all he's fucking good at. Look at this man. All testosterone has left this man's body. All fucking, he's got no skill. He's got nothing. He's ranked 15th. I'm going with Zhang. Fuck Smith, bro. Fuck this dude. Don't like anything about this dude. He's just a quitter. He's a fucking always makes excuses. On paper, man, he's just not that good. You look at any one of his skills, and I think I take him out anywhere. But when he mixes them together, man, I guess that's a problem. Roman Dolidze, he's just one of those guys. He's a double threat kind of guy, and they're the ones I have struggles with. Motherfucker, it's MMA. Of course, people have more than one threat. It's not fucking boxing or wrestling. It's MMA, mixed martial arts. I'm not going to get into this motherfucker. But anyway. Look, still an interesting fight. Look, if he gets a win over Zhang, he'll probably stick around knowing this motherfucker. But I'm still kind of interested in it. I don't think he's going to be a champ or anything one day. But, he could be a solid contender. So hopefully Zhang beats that ass. Next up, we have Giga Chikadze versus Anama. Haven't seen this man in a long time. Despite his fucking egghead, got the fucking chin of a... I don't even know what you call it, mate. Fuck all chin there. He looks like fucking Hamzat Chimaev without a beard. But yeah, this motherfucker, despite that, he can actually fight. He's got some skill. He is old. He's in some recent performances, he's been fraud checked. He's good enough to be a ranked fighter. Not going to be champion. Anama, I honestly don't know too much about Anama, but they're giving him a fight to a chance to move up in the rankings. Must be a quality dude. The dude just looks like a bit of a beast. Like sometimes you just go off looks. We'll see if he actually has a skill, but I'm going to go with what looks like the younger, fresher fighter. And also just like, I don't know, Giga's alright, but fuck Giga at the same time. Then we have Michelle Pereira versus Magomedov. Two built weird dudes. Both fucking animals. Pereira will just do backflips and fucking spinny shit and just some of the wildest shit you've seen. And Magomedov, fitting the name is, he's just he's a bit of a beast everywhere. Look at he's got some fucking unusual daggies, some long ass arms on him. And a bit longer leg, longer build. I'm excited for this fight, middleweight fight. I think I'm going to go with Magomedov to end up taking this one, but interesting fight. You never count Pereira out. Alright, next one. Alescaro versus Muniz. I don't know why, but I don't give a fuck about this fight. Like, I don't care. I know both these guys, like, of course we know, but I don't give a fuck. I don't ever want any of these guys to be champion. I don't care about them. I don't care about their styles. I don't care about anything. Like, look at this fucking goat-looking motherfucker. Like, not goat as in the greatest, as in motherfucker looks like someone fucked a goat and had a kid, and that's him. Nothing wrong with Muniz. He's just old and old. Even if he ain't that old, he looks old, so, he ain't going to be champ right there. At the end of the day, that is what matters. Are they going to be champ? Are they going to compete for the championship? No. Maybe compete. I hope fucking not. Still an interesting fight. Great to see Dana fucking dropping all these off after, these are all exciting fights. It's a shame that, despite all these great fights, that he couldn't give Jose Aldo a decent fight. He just gave him a fucking no-name up-and-comer to try and build off him. Like, dude, if this guy beats Jose Aldo, we're going to hate him. He's not going to build a star. You're not building a star of Jose Aldo's name. Especially, no one wants to see Jose Aldo get KO'd or fucked up or wet blanketed. Oh, the fights have been given this dude. MMA Guru covered it already. I'm not going to go over it. I'd suggest watching his video on it. The disrespect they've been shown, Jose Aldo, one of the youngest champions of all time, a legend of the sport, fucking a man who's handed himself with nothing but dignity and respect and always put on exciting fights. And the last two, and now the next fight he's getting, so 3 overall opponents, have just been fucking no-name shit that just one of them held him up against the fence and did fuck all for the whole fight. And it was like, it's just shit, man. And then we've got guys like Cruz he could have fought, Cody Garbrandt, old legends that he could have been fighting, but instead they're wasting him. Like, fucking, I don't know what they're doing. Do they hate Jose Aldo? Like, what's going on? And they drop all these good fights, and you're like, well, are they intentionally doing it? Are they intentionally fucking with Jose Aldo's end of career? It kind of looks like it, because they clearly know how to make fights, because they've made a bunch of fucking great fights. But anyway, not a rant video. A lot of great fights dropped by Dana White. Tends to do it via live stream lately. Great to see. This has got me excited. Good fights moving forward. A nice fight night here. A good pay-per-view and, good recovery fight. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like the Rafael versus Gaethje 2? Do you like Mitchell and Silva? What do you think of the replacement? Who would you have if you wouldn't have Fiziev versus Gaethje again? Any comments or whatever, let me know down below. Keen to have a chat with you. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. Tune in for more content. And cheers, lads. I'll catch you next time.